freckles, his grin lighting up his face like sunshine. "You will be fine," he said. "I will always look after you." I woke up and knew he was gone. 6 months later, and I am fine, if still adjusting. I am not sentimental. I sent all his clothes off to the charity shop. What on earth would be the point in keeping those closets filled? I gathered his shirts, his ties, his beautiful suits, and took them myself. I couldn't ask Tally, my daughter would have been horrified. Since he died, I have started working again. Coiled pots and vases, some sculpture, but small, simple, not like the large ones I did 20 years ago, the ones with which I made my name. I have arthritis now, and my hands don't have the dexterity they used to. So, I keep the sculptures manageable. I take daily walks through Hampstead Village and photograph scenes that might inspire me. The windows of the little shops that line Flask Walk, the people sitting outside the Spaniards Inn, the ducks on Whitestone Pond. I come back and sketch ideas for sculptures and pots at the kitchen table. I have not been able to go into the attic, to sort through the detritus of a shared life. I have not been willing to revisit the past, but my husband has been dead for 6 months, and as I sit, this morning, I know that it is time. I need to move forward, I think, looking out the window, admiring the garden. The shrubs are bursting into colour as spring becomes summer, the profusion of cherry blossoms now dropping as the leaves burst into green, and the alliums and tulips start to droop, their time now over. The kitchen soothes me, with its pale grey cabinets and open shelving, white plates and bowls stacked on the shelves. There is little colour anywhere, save for cookbooks and, of course, paintings that we collected over the course of our marriage, paintings that tell the story of our lives, that cover all the walls. The television is on low as I decide to try to map out some new ideas today. I have an idea for an abstract duck sculpture, but first I will paint it and see if I can make sense of it on the page. I dip my brush into water and swirl it around the cadmium yellow on a white china plate, diluting it until it is sufficiently watery as I start to paint the outline of my duck. In the background, the murmurs from the television help me relax. I'm not really listening until the music starts, when I catch my breath and drop the paintbrush. It is Madama Butterfly, Un bel di vedremo. Maria Callas at her height. That voice. I would know that voice anywhere. Un bel di vedremo. Levasi un fil di fumo sul estremo, con fil del mare. E poi la nave appare, poi la nave bianca. Entra nel porto, romba il suo saluto. I have heard this over the years, of course. It is the most popular aria in the opera, filled with longing and a hint of the tragedy that follows. I remember exactly where I was when I first heard it. Morocco. I was perched on the edge of a divan, the colourful Killam cushions piled up behind me, as Paul carefully moved the needle on the record player. He explained the story of Madama Butterfly to me and what this aria was saying. He would pause to sing parts of it softly, as if in a reverie. Of course he spoke beautiful Italian, understood every word as he translated it to my willing ears. I knew nothing about opera. I knew nothing about anything. I had never heard anything so beautiful in my life. "She sings bel canto," Paul said when I opened my eyes. I had to close them, to shut everything out so I could lose myself in the music. And when I opened them, there were tears trickling down my face. Paul was delighted, moving an ottoman close to me and sitting down. "It's beautiful, isn't it? Callas. There is no one like her. She had such rigorous training in the kind of singing that hasn't been fashionable for decades. Can you hear how light her voice is? Most of the bel canto singers in the last century were taught by castrati, even though there were few of them left." I had never heard the word castrati. He saw my confusion and explained